gidiyor, ev gidiyor, ev gidiyor. Allah'ım. Allah! Allah! Allah yardım et! Allah yardım et! Allah yardım et!
Germany finds itself in the grip of South Gustav, the tempest unprecedented magnitude that swept across the nation, leaving destruction and the chaos in the wake. From the northern coastal regions to the picturesque landscape on the South Gustav relentless to the test of resolve and resilience of the German people. In the Hamburg, Europe's second large port city, in the storm are unleashed in the water of resilience force. High winds whipped through the streets, caused havoc and disruption, when torrential rain transformed roads into rivers. The city's flood descended put at the test on authority worked tirelessly to protect vulnerability erased from the inundation. As Gustav swept inland, Berlin bears in the brunt the fury of iconic landmarks such as the Banderwagen gate to Berlin Wall, stand at the silent witness of nature of some power. Streets are deserted as the residents seek shelter from the storm, while emergency service come ready to respond to calls to assistance. In the rural Bavaria, communities rally together in the face of adversity, offering support to solidarity to those in need, and the farmers work tirelessly to secure livestock to protect crops and some stock, while villagers come together to clear debris to ensure the safety of their homes. Transportation networks great and half the Gustav fury disrupted rail and road travel across the country. Flights are grounded, trained and deployed to have become impossible to follow. Trees and debris block vital roads. Yet amidst the chaos, emergency working tirelessly to keep essential service running to ensure the safety of the public. As the Gustav finally begins to reset, Germany emergency battery to unburden limited determination to rebuild and recover. Communities come together to assess the damage, offering support assistance to those in need. The spirit of resilience burst bright across the nation, reminding the work of Germany's strength and determination in the face of adversity. Strong winds caused wildfires in Spain and falling water level revealed dangers to issue in the new. Germany's weather service warned of heavy rain in the south of the country. After severe storm killed at least 20 people elsewhere in Europe. Local authorities have reported widespread damage, particularly in the areas of Upper Bavaria and Lower Bavaria. Many homes have in their roofs and windows smashed, leaving residents deal with the aftermath. Some farmers have also reported severe damage in their crops, where they could have a significant impact of local economy. The hailstones has caused significant disruption to the region, and many residents are still struggling to come in terms with the damage caused. The true cost and disaster is yet to fully assess. They live in the fatigue storms with the felt and sometimes to come, and recover from the havoc brought by nature and discriminating fury. Yet this cause of the storm severe stock reminding of the fragility of human experience in the face of Mother Nature with some power. Germany stands firm against the relentless onslaught storm Gustav, and the nation grappled with the most ferocious weather events in the recent memory. From the best cities to serene countryside, Gustav worked north to bone, testing the resilience and preparedness of the German people. In the Hamburg, the iconic port city, residents braced themselves to towering wave crash against the sea walls through its to beach defense. The city educate network of flood barriers and put in the test, while emergency responses work tirelessly to ensure the safety of coastal communities. As the storm's epicenter shift eastward, Berlin in the nation capital find itself engulfed in the metropolis of wind and rain. Streets one bustling activity now lie deserted, and residents need warning to seek shelters indoor. Iconic landmarks from the Brandenburg Gate to the Reichstag bear witness nature of some power. They gender juxtaposed against the raw force of the elements. In the Bavaria, Germany, pictures queer southwestern region rural communities face their own battle against the Gustav onslaught. Farmers toil tirelessly to serve livestock and safeguard crops, while vigilant rally together to support one another in the face of adversity. Across the countryside and landscape transformed into patchwork of resilience, while solidarity and determination severely bustle against the storm. Transportation networks burst at the anticipation under the strain of Gustav fury, with the airports, railway and the highway all experience disruption. Flights are grounded, trains are delayed, and the roads become treacherous and follow trees in the bruised leather landscape. Yet amidst the chaos, emergency service work tirelessly to keep vital lifeline open to ensure the safety of those in need. As nightfall and Gustav fully banned anyway, Germany emergency battle the engulfed communities come together to assess the damage, clear debris, and begin the long process to rebuilding. From the bustling cities to north of tranquil villages on the southern spirit resilience burns the bright, reminded the worst of Germany's underwater resolve in the face of nature's foreign challenges. The Italian Civil Protection Department has been monitoring the situation closely and urged residents to remain vigilant. Sicily is no stranger to extreme weather conditions, but its storms have been particularly severe. Sicily, Italy was hit by a foreign storm that caused widespread damage and destruction to the island. The storm, which lasted for several hours, brought heavy rain and strong winds, uprooted trees and damaged buildings. Many roads and highways were closed due to flooding and landslides, which caused significant traffic disruption. Several flights to and from the island were also cancelled or delayed, leaving many travelers stranded. Local authorities issued several warning urged residents to stay indoors and avoid travel unless absolutely necessary. Several school and public offices were closed due to the storm. The storm also caused power outage in some areas, leaving thousands of homes without electricity. Emergency services were working around the clock to restore power and clear debris to affected areas. The ammonia sound of hailstorm pounded over rooftops and cars and chilled through the affected areas, leaving a trail of shattered windows and dented vehicles in its wake. Local authorities have been working tirelessly to provide aid to support those affected by the scare and the disaster and scheduled rescue team. Emergency shelters have been stopped to offer refuge to displaced families, while search and rescue teams navigate treacherous conditions to locate those with miles stranded or trapped. Italy's historic agriculture and a cultural hierarchy have also fallen victims in a dual onslaught. The impact of the city infrastructure have been severe, with the reports collapsed bridges and damaged roads hindering rescue efforts. The metro network, a lifeline for many communities, came to gripping half of the tunnels become submerged, grave compounding the chaos. In a shocking turn of events, Barcelona, Spain, finds itself grappling with a catastrophic flood, leaving the city and its residents in the state of turmoil. Torrential rain unprecedented in the intensify unleashed havoc in the region, overwhelming grading system and triggering widespread inundation. As streets transforming in the region, emergency service will be mobilized to aid those affected by the calamity. Brave first response and launching rescue missions wading through the waist-deep water to reach stranded individuals and families trapped in their homes. Helicopters swayed above, plucking people to rooftops, and floodwaters continued to rise. As the day progressed, images in submerged cars uprooted, trees and debris strewn streets circulated on social media, painted a grim picture of widespread destruction. Residents clad in the rain-soaked clothing and were seen banding together to other assistance displayed admirable resilience in the face of adversity. The floodwaters have also taken to toll Barcelona's circular culture heritage and icon landmarks, including a former Sagrada Familia and historic buildings, are witnessing water separated structure damage. In the heat of Europe, Hamburg, Germany's second largest city, is facing an unprecedented environmental crisis. The city, known for its rich history and vibrant culture, has recently been in the forefront of the catastrophic flood, highlighting the severe impact of the climate change. In the early hour of the morning, the residents of Hamburg woke up to a city submerged underwater. The Elbe River, which has been a lifeline of the city of centuries, transformed into a source of devastation as it burst their banks. This sudden flood has not only disrupted the daily life of the citizens, but also raised serious questions about the city preparedness for such natural disaster. Emergency services have been working tirelessly to rescue those trapped in their homes and provide relief to affected areas. Temporary shelters have been stopped across the city to accommodate those displaced by the floods. However, the task is monumental, but the city resources are scattered thin. The impact of economy is clearly devastating. Hamburg, a major port city, has seen maritime activities for height affected by not only the local economy, but also having ripple effect across Europe. The flood in Hamburg can start reminding of a real times of climate change. Experts have warned that such extreme weather events are likely to become more frequent and intense due to global warming. This disaster has put a spotlight on the need for cities to adapt and build resilience against such climate-related challenges. The Italian government, in collaboration with the local agencies, is deployed to rescue to mobilize aid to assist those facing the deep consequences of this natural disaster. The national unity is solidarity pledging support to help the affected communities recovery and rebuilding the aftermath of this devastating flooding in the Hampstead. Italy finds itself grappling with the devastation aftermath of dual national disaster as torrential flood and forest hailstorm wreaked havoc across several regions. Picturesque landscape have transformed into a scene of chaos and destruction, and homes submerged and farmlands plummeted by ice. One can only describe the cruel twist on the fate. Communities from the northern Alps to the southern Mediterranean coastal line have broken the burst of this catastrophic event. Rivers flowing by relentless downpour burst their banks in identity towns and villages in their paths. Streets that once bursted with the life now resembled temporary tributes faced residents to flee high ground. Adding the misery, the relentless hailstorm stuck with the unfluid force, turning streets into ice river and blanket field in the chilly twilight of ice. The economic impact of the natural disaster through the year to the fully Queenfield is expected to be significant. As the storm passed, the relentlessness of the Sicilian people shone through. Communities band together, aid the cleanup efforts to provide support to those hardest hit. Social media was abuzed with the emergencies, with the messages of solidarity and offered to assistance, showcasing the indomitable spirit of the island's inhabitants. Meteorologists have attributed the severity of the storm in combination of climate factors, emphasizing the increasing unpredictability of the weather patterns. This event severe stark reminder of the challenges faced by climate change, underlining the urgent need for sustainable environment policies. The Italian government response to the crisis pledged full support to the recovery force. Prime Minister, in a statement, assured the allocation for reps and resources to aid affected areas. Moreover, he emphasized the importance to bolstering Italy's infrastructure with a stance to such extreme weather events in the future. As Italy embarks on its journey to recovery, the already has sparked national conversation on disaster preparedness and climate resilience. The storm, while untested island fortitude, has also been a catalyst for unity and a reflection of the importance to collective action to the face of environmental challenges. In a shocking turn of events, the picturesque town of Trocchesimo in the province of Udine, Italy, was recently basined in the relentless onslaught of natural fury. A torrential flood accompanied by fire and hailstorm, wreaking havoc on tranquil streets, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Residents of Trocchesimo found themselves grappling with the double whammy as flood water surged through the cobbled alleys, inundated homes and businesses alike. The relentless rain, driven by gear-force winds, transforming in town once peaceful ambience in one of chaos and despair. As emergency sirens roaring through the water-loaded streets, local authorities will mobilize to rescue operations ensure the safety of residents stranded by the deluge. The community related together, offering assistance to those affected by extended a helping hand of the vulnerable. Images captured the surreal scene of hailstorm, some a sledge of a golf ball plumping the town rooftops and vehicles, leaving a trail of destruction or silence of a scene from disaster movie. The aftermath related shattered windows, dented vehicles and bedrock vegetation, testifying of forest and hailstorm. Germany fired itself in those nature fury as Storm Gustav swoops relentlessly across the country, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. With the wind's howling speeds reached up to 100 km per hour and the rainfall intensified, authorities have issued widespread warning urging citizens to take immediate precaution. The northern region of Germany, both of Gustav, Indonesia, and Oslo, and the coastal areas experienced fire, winds, and abounding waves. Hamburg, a city accustomed by all-time weather, faced inundation from the storm surge, prompting authorities to close food barriers and deploy emergency response team to blossom deafness. As Gustav burst eastward, it impacted it across the major urban centers such as Berlin and Munich. The iconic landmarks of the capital city tremble under to onslaught and relentless gusts, where cities become rivers as rain pours down, adapted. In the Munich, Bavaria, bustling metropolis residents handle indoor as tourists way previously outside the Bristol leader in the streets. Transportation networks, grids on the half of the storm fury disrupted air, rail, and road travel. Airports scrambling the dirty flights and ground planes altogether, while railway operations struggled to mountain service amidst the fallen trees and debris on the tracks. Highway resembled obstacle caused the driver navigate treacherous conditions, with authority urged extreme cautions to advise against unnecessary travel. In the rural areas, farmers raced against time to secure livestock and safeguard crops on the onslaught and the wind and the rain. The agriculture hinterland of Germany faced dual threat to crop damage and potential flooding, and there was a mention of the relentless from the impact of the storm. Emergency service working tirelessly to respond incident, reducing standing motorists clearing debris from the roads, and ensuring the safety of the vulnerability communities. Shelters are opening by providing refuge and those displaced by the storm, offering the warmth and respite from the relentless onslaught of natural war. Amidst the chaos, resilience of German people shine through. Neighbors band together to help one another weather the storm. For the memories of the past calamities, fresh and they months communities until the solidarity, demonstrating the strength and spirit the defiance Germany resolve in the face of adversity. As Gustav fury begins to wear in the skies gradually clear, Germany emerged better than and both ready to rebuild. Europe finds itself in the grip of tempestuous battle with the nature of what the powerful storm swept across the continent, leaving a trail of chaos and disruption in the way. From the wide-swept coast in the Ireland of the snow-blanket streets of Scandinavia, millions are grappling with the ferocious of elements. In Ireland, where coastal communities are accustomed by the burst of Atlantic gales, the storm surge has battered short lines and swept waves crashing against the seawalls. Authorities have issued warning urged residents to remain indoors and guests of winds route speed exceeded 100 km per hour through a terrain to uproot trees and damage infrastructure. Meanwhile, in the United Kingdom, transport network have ground the height of the storm and lashed the fury. Flights have been cancelled, trains delayed, and roads rendered treacherous by fallen debris. Emergency services are working tirelessly to clear roads and restore service, but the sheer force of the storm presents a formidable challenge. Across the English Channel, mainland Europe is not spread from the tempest range. In the French, torrential rain has triggered flooding in low-lying area, pressing residents to evacuate their homes. The iconic Eiffel Tower stands sturdily amidst the tumult as a symbol of resilience of the face of adversity. In the German, where the winter chill still liner heavy snowfall exact battling the chaos disrupting both the urban and rural life. Schools are closed, businesses shuttered, and public transportation paralyzed. The country grappled with the dire onslaught of the storm wind. For the east and Scandinavia, the stormy Arctic grid, three-nerve blizzard combinations swept across the landslide. Norway, Sweden, and Finland are blackened in the snow, but the visibility reduced in near-southern some areas, despite their reputation of resilience in the harsh winter. Germany is on high alert as a powerful storm system swept across the nation, bringing with a violent wind, torrential rain, and fluid widespread disruption. The German Meteorological Service has issued severe weather warning for the vast stretch of the countries, urged residents to take precautions and remain vigilant. The storm, dubbed Gustav by meteorologists, is expected to make landfall in the northern Germany, before rapidly moving eastward and doubling major cities such as Hamburg, Berlin, and Munich in part. With a gust of 100 km per hour are forecast present significant risk to property and public safety. Authorities have cautioned against unnecessary travel and advised residents to secure loose objects outdoors, such as furniture and signage, to prevent them from becoming hazardous, projecting strong winds. Additionally, residents in low-lying areas are being urged prepare to possible flooding in a heavy rainfall could lead to overflowing rivers and localized inundation. Transportation network are likely to be severely impacted, with a disruption expected to cross any trail. Airlines have already begun preemptive cancellation and delays with the train service operation are reduced schedules in anticipation of adverse weather conditions. Drivers are being urged to exercise extreme caution, particularly on the highway and bridge where crosswind is especially dangerous. Emergency services are on standby by response to incidents that may arise as a result of the storm, with the extra personnel deployed to high-risk areas to ensure the swift coordinated response. Local authorities have set up emergency shelters to those displaced by the storm are working closely to community organizations to provide support to vulnerable population. The German government has urged citizens to need the advice of authorities and stay informed throughout the official channels updates to involved situation. With the memories still fresh to the past storm have worked havoc across the country, including the devastation Xavier in 2017. Germans are talking in the threat to Gustav series and embracing themselves for the what could long and challenging night ahead. The townspeople known for their resilience demanded a movement on the order, test and cleanup and recovery, with the unity as the driving force by cleanup debris, pumped out flood waters and become prepared to shatter it remind of their once come town. Through the extent of the damage remains substantial, the intimation spirits track a smooth cloud. The town embarks a long road to restoration, providing that even in the face of natural fury, the human spirit remains unbroken. In a devastation turn of when Italy find under the grip of nature fury as the torrential rain triggered widespread flooding and relentless hailstorm strikes various regions. With the river burst, the banks and low-lying areas submerged rescue operations are underway to aid stranded communities. Pictures blur town and farmlands in northern Italy bear boast on the hailstorm leaving behind a trail of destruction as groups are ravaged as property severely damaged. The unrelenting onslaught has left residents shaking to seeking refuge from the frost and the elements. Emergency service and disaster response team are working tirelessly to evacuate residents and provide such immediate relief to affected areas. Authorities are urging citizens to exercise extreme cautions to stay indoors to ensure their safety amidst the ongoing natural calamity. A severe hailstorm hit the region of Veneto, Italy, caused extensive damage and caught residents by surprise. The hailstorm, as big as a golf ball, pounded the area relentlessly over the hour, resulting in shattered windows, ruined crops, and dented vehicles. In the aftermath of the tempest, the authorities are evacuating the extent of the devastation, offering assistance in the affected communities. Emergency service promptly responded to the crisis, but the damage was so widespread that local authorities struggled to keep up. Residents faced difficulty in reaching safety. For farmers suffered significant losses, with the vineyard and orange devastation by the storm. Despite the challenges of the people of Veneto demonstrated their resilience of coming together to support one another. The weather station of Ilet Tower recorded a widespread of up to 110 km/h. Meteorological Service reported that the level of the Seine rose by 35 cm due to heavy rain. Meteo France has warned of increasing winds and heavy rainfall in the southwest, as well as a seasonal of the massive central atmosphere and crossing the country from the southwest to the northeast. Torrential rain have left Paris following the recent heat wave in France that flooded metro station in the French capital. Transportation network have been alerted, with the several flight cancellation and delayed reported to Charles and Curl Airport. Republic Transportation Service have also been particularly affected, as the bus and train schedules have been modified and ensure passenger safety amidst the tumultuous weather conditions. Another residents of French capital filmed motorists driving through the deep water, ironically saying the Paris is beautiful because you can ever go water skiing here. Paris, France, in a stunning tournament event. The city of London find itself under the grip of imminent storms set to unleash a fury upon of the capital. The meteorological department has issued a severe weather alert, cautioning residents to visitors alike prepare to tumultuous conditions. With the darkness sky and ominous cloud gathering about the iconic landmarks, including the Iler Tower and the Notre Dame Cathedral, the bustling streets in the Paris are pouring the crowd with the anticipation with a sense of urgency. Local authorities have urged citizens to execute cautions to stay indoors and the storm intensify escalates. Weather forecasts predict that the temperatures of bring heavy rain accompanied by the firm gust of wind, posing a significant threat to the city infrastructure and public safety. The potential for flash floods and power outage has risen constant about among officials who have implemented precautionary measures to minimize the impact. The Bavarian state government has declared a state of emergency in the affected areas, and the emergency service have been working to clear roads and assess the damage. Many roads have been blocked by debris, making it difficult for emergency service to reach those in need. In Bavaria, Germany, a violent hailstorm has caused extensive damage to homes, cars, and crops. The storm struck on Tuesday afternoon and lasted several hours, unleashing large hailstones that pelted the region. Basements were flooded, trees were downed on public roads, and police reported several traffic incidents involving hydroplaning. Firefighters reported that rainwater was flowing from fields and mid down in the streets, houses, and basements. Germany authorities have issued new weather warning after deadly storm hit Central and Southern Europe. Germany found itself on the front lines in a fire battle against the relentless force of nature's storm Gustav, unleashing further across the nation. From the northern shores to southern plains and the continent, the country was spared from the water and the powerful tempest. The coastal areas such in Hamburg and Bremen and Halle wind blew up towering when they crashed against the seawalls, pushing to build defense and inundated floodline areas. Residents huddled indoors, breaking themselves on the outdoor, while the emergency responses stand ready to spirit into action and their moments ties. As Gustav buries inland, urban centers like Berlin and Frankfurt become battleground against the element. In the rural communities, farmers and villagers mobilized to protect their livelihood and the name of Gustav's onslaught. Fields are flooded and groups are battered by the relentless rain, posing the threat to food security and the economic stability. Yet, amidst the chaos, the resilience of the German people shine through. Neighbors come together to lend helping hand in the face of adversity. Transportation network, grid and health and train are delayed, flights are cancelled, and highways become impossible. Travelers are stranded, unable to reach their destination, as Gustav wreaked havoc on the infrastructure across the country. Yet despite the disruption, emergency service worked tirelessly to keep vital lifeline open. They ensured the safety to those in need. Continuing to coverage the storm intensity, wind, attention turns and the aftermath of the extent of the damage left in wake. Across the Europe, images uploaded to tourist damaged buildings and flooded streets painting a vivid picture of storm's impact. Emergency services are working tirelessly to assess the damage and provided assistance to those in need. In Ireland, where coastal communities and the boats of the storm's surge, residents' emergency severe breakage left behind. Finnish boats slide in battery in one shoot, where coastal defense tested on their limit. The resilience of these communities is evident lock and come together to begin to outdoor tasks of cleaning up and rebuilding. In the United Kingdom, while transportation meteor ground in the house during the healing of the storm, efforts underway to restore service and reopen King Road. Volunteers are cleaning from the rail tracks, airport resume operation, and highway are gradually reopening to traffic. The resilience of the British people shine through as they adapt to the challenges posed by the storm and work toward normality. In France, where flooding wreaked havoc in low-lying area, residents are grappling with the aftermath of the inundated homes and submerged streets. The cleanup efforts are underway as emergency service deployed the prompts and dry floodwaters and residents pitched in village below. Despite the disruption, spirit of solidarity provided the communities come together to support one another in the wake of disaster. In Munich, the storm caused chaos on the street and motorists struggled to navigate throughout the hail-covered roads. Emergency services were called to several incidents, including a car incident on the AA motorway. Local authorities have urged residents to avoid unnecessary travel and to stay indoors where possible. As the fire in Hailstorm has battered parts of Germany, causing widespread damage and destruction. The storm was stuck on Saturday afternoon, dumped on the large hailstorm the city, including Munich and Stuttgart. Living cars dented, the windows smashed. Some areas reported hailstorm as large as tennis ball. The storm also caused damage buildings, with the reports of roof being rapid open window shaking. In the town of Schweigerick Hall, firefighters were called to rescue men who had become trapped in their car and found debris. Meteorologists have warned that more storm could be one of the way. There is a high travel lighting in some parts of the country. The German Weather Service has issued warning for several regions, including Bavaria and Baden-Württemberg, and advised people to take precautions. A powerful storm swept across Bavaria, Germany, caused widespread destruction and chaos. The storm, characterized by intense wind and heavy rainfall, left a trail of destruction throughout the region. The storm approached meteorologists, warning of the potential impact, urged residents to take necessary precautions. The Bavarian government activated emergency service, preparing the worst-case scenario. Schools were closed and public transport was significantly disrupted as a safety issue. The storm's arrival was met against winds that approached trees, buildings, and disrupted power lines. In the several towns, roofs were torn off houses and streets were littered and debris. The fire's winds, reaching speeds of over 100 km/h, pested severe throughout the resident safety. Heavy rainfall accompanied the winds, leaving a flash floods in low-lying areas. Rivers and streams overflowed, inundated streets and homes. Emergency services working tirelessly to rescue people trapped in their homes to provide temporary shelters for those displaced by the flooding. The agriculture sector suffered significant losers, with many farms reported damaged crops and infrastructure. The storm also impacted wildfire, with the reports on habitats behind destroying animals being displaced. Throughout the ordeal, and the resilience of Bavarian people was evident. Communities came together to support each other, and volunteers helping to clean up efforts and provided aid to those in need. The government pledged financial assistance to those affected by the promise to review its disaster management plans to better prepare for future storms. As Bavaria begins to recover, the storm severe as a reminder of increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events likely linked to climate change. Experts call for more robust measures to mitigate the impact of such events and for greater investment in sustainable practices to protect the environment. In the early hour of January, Sicily, Italy autonomous region found itself in the market of a formidable storm, with a wind reaching speed of over 100 km/h, and the relentless heavy rain and storm left a trail of destruction in its wake. Residents of Sicily waked to a scene of chaos, uprooted trees, flooded streets, and damaged infrastructure. The storm intensity was such that it impeded daily life, closed schools, disrupted transport, and leaving thousands without power. The emergency service working tirelessly to restore order, prioritizing the safety to those affected areas. The island's capital, Palermo, bore the birth of the storm. Historic buildings, traveled to their architectural beauty, suffered damage, while the city narrow cobbled streets turned into fast-flowing rivers. Inland town and coastal village alike faced similar devastation, with the local authority declared a state of emergency in several regions. Agriculture, a cornerstone of Sicily economy, was not spared. Farmers severed their land and heavy herds of the storm-ravaged crops and appended years on the hard work. Massive floods have wreaked havoc in historic district of Jordan in Paris, France, following heavy rainfall on past few days. In a picturesque neighborhood known as the German canals and Coring Bridge have been transformed into waterlogged maze. The river Seine western banks are major streets, shops and homes as torrential as muddy water surged through the sea. Local residents were cut off guard by a sudden deluge, with the many forced and evacuate their property and flood waters rapidly rose. Emergency service and volunteers have been working tirelessly to rescue stranded individuals to provide shelters to those affected. The authorities have issued a red alert urging residents to remain vigilant and prioritize their safety. The flood had caused significant disruption in the daily life in Jordan. Public transportation service have been severely affected, with the several bus routes suspended and metro stations closed due to water damage. Businesses in area, including restaurants and boat crews, have been forced to close their doors, temporarily adding to the economic strain caused by ongoing pandemic. The city government has mobilized the rescue to manage the crisis. Homes and cars in the Irish village have been severely damaged after a possible tornado hit the area. Emergency services were called to the village of Lilrim on Sunday afternoon after strong winds filled trees, ripped the roofs of buildings and left debris strewn across the street. Meteorological report said reports of tornadoes in the area were probably true or definitely involved thunderstorm with a very strong wind. She said the forecast relied on reports on video on social media to state sure whether wind was tornado. Down sky over the UK weather, rain to intensify due to 4 yellow warning from the Met Office. She added, in a thunderstorm, cold wind spread in direction can change and this rests on the cloud which causes rotation, and in the funnel shaped cloud in an able stretch all the way to the ground, it causes a tornado. It could have been a strange gust of wind probably over the one other, but people say they saw rotation. They are not very predictable, they only last a couple minutes. A witness to the possible tornado said his dream was spotting the debris as they drove through the storm. Orange wind warning are in effect on Clare, Galway and Mayo counties. Indication were a strong coastal wind combined with a high wave and tides. Strong Fedges, the second named storm of the weekend, has also brought yellow wind warning to countries Kerry, Limerick and Tipperary. The storm surge will lead to high seas, and along with the storm, there is potential for the coastal flooding along the parts of the west coast, particularly on a high tide. The UK Met Office has also issued several yellow weather warnings for parts of Scotland and Northern England, but no warning have been issued for Northern Ireland. Bureau of Meteorology Chief Meteorologist Andy Page said Storm Fedge will summarize a turbulent weather weekend for UK.